Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So I have a major announcement to make. We have a new station affiliate out of Jasper, Florida, WJHC, Talk 107.5, the voice of North Florida. So now we are going to be covering 7 counties in Florida, 4 counties in Georgia, for a total population reach of 283,458. And that's just in that area alone. Absolutely amazing, wonderful opportunity. Because, of course, we're also broadcasting on WXMB 101.5 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and WBUC 1460 AM in Buchanan, West Virginia. So it's just an absolutely remarkable opportunity, really starting to get bigger reach here. And, all this has been made possible to our newest network affiliates, ICRN, stands for Conservative Radio Network, and also Red Nation Rising, 2 of our newest network affiliates. So if you're interested in checking out any of our new affiliates, you can go to talk1075.com. You can go to conservativeradionetwork.com. And you can also visit Red Nation Rising by going to rednationrising.us. And it's going to be launching on July 4th, 2016. So you guys can definitely be sure to mark your calendars down for that. But, guys, it's just absolutely remarkable that this entire thing has just, worked out so smoothly. Can't thank Don enough. Can't thank, of course, Ron enough. Both of them have been absolutely remarkable. Wonderful to work with them. Great, talented people in the broadcasting industry. And I most definitely want to thank them and everyone who made that station and also our new stations, our new network affiliates, that affiliation possible. So it's really just absolutely great news. So hopefully, if any of you are listening to us for the first time on WJHC, it's, really great to meet you. Hope it's, the same for you meeting me. But hopefully you can start making this show a part of your Sunday nights. We'll be broadcasting, by the way, every Sunday night from now on WJHC, Talk 107.5 at 11 o'clock p.m. to midnight. So late show, but, it's not too late to listen to the show. So who needs Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon when you got me? Okay, that's so anyway, guys, the most recent thing in the news right now, it's being reported by all the outlets, is that the United Kingdom, Great Britain, has decided to break away from the European Union. And that comes to a total of 51.89% have voted to leave the European Union, while you have a 48.11% that decided, no, we want to stay. So from what I've been reading here, it's going to affect the world's economy, of course, with this entire incident happening. It's actually being recognized as being beneficial to the United States because, from what I've been reading anyway, it looks like the European dollar, what am I saying? The British dollar, what am I saying? British pound, there you go. See, rough start, first station getting going here. No. But anyway, yeah, the British pound apparently is going to be dropping a bit. The sterling is suffering its biggest one-day fall, according to Reuters, of more than 9% against the dollar. So it's great for our dollar, bad for the sterling over there. So, guys, it's really going to be interesting seeing what happens here. This has really been a big effort led by the United Kingdom Independent Party, which is, the basically middle-of-the-road party over there, because both parties are pretty liberal over in the United Kingdom. You have the Conservative Party that isn't conservative, and then you have the Liberal Party that's basically socialist. So that's Great Britain for you. The UKIP is probably one of the best parties, and parties that's for the people over in the United Kingdom. So it's really great to see that this entire referendum ended up going through, and the people had their say. So they got away from one central government, and they're bringing it back to their country, because basically what is happening over there is that the European Union ended up taking quite a bit of power away from Great Britain, because they were making a lot of decisions preventing Britain from making a lot of good trade agreements, because the European Union would come in and control everything. But now that power is given back to the people of Great Britain. And, the interesting thing here is that it's also being speculated that potentially David Cameron, the conservative, not conservative, but he's a conservative, over in the United Kingdom, the prime minister there, has been talking about also stepping down from that position or not running for re-election, I guess. But that's what's being reported from CNN anyway. So, it's they've been interviewing people, ever since this referendum or this decision ended up being made late last night. But that's what we have going on now over in the UK. So it's looking pretty interesting, and it's catching everyone's attention, and it's definitely going to be having an effect on the people there and, of course, the world economy, like I said earlier. But anyway, I have this article here from Reuters, and it reads, Britain has voted to leave the European Union. Results from Thursday's landmark referendum showed an outcome that sets the country on an uncertain path and deals with the largest setback to European efforts to forge greater unity since World War II. Well, see, here's the thing. European efforts have basically been to control other countries. They become one central country, almost like the borderline New World Order. Not total UN, but it's all the European countries have basically come together as one. It takes power away from the people of these various countries, and it gives it to an entire continent. But anyway, the vote will initiate at least 2 years of messy divorce proceedings, with the EU raising questions over London's role as a global financial capital, and put huge pressure on David Cameron, the Prime Minister, to resign. There you go. Yeah, he's supposed to resign, possibly. Though he pledged during the campaign to stay on whatever the result. The euro slumped around 3.5% against the dollar on concerns of a Brexit. Vote will do wider economic and political damage to what will become a 27-member union. Investors poured into the safe haven assets, including gold, and the yen surged. There was no immediate comment from the Bank of England in an early mark of international concern. Japan's top currency diplomat, Monsieur Wasaka, said that he would consult with finance minister and blah, 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 blah. So that's what's presently taking place over in the United Kingdom. But, what it reveals, this entire decision, the thing that you want to take away from this entire thing is that people become absolutely disgusted with the United Kingdom giving all of their power to the European, I can't even talk now, the European Union. There you go. They're tired of that power being given to, why am I talking like this? Being given to a central government, and they want it back on a local level. They want it back on a national level at least, because it's going to this world thing. And, it's really just creepy. One world government is what it sounds like, but that's what took place with the European Union. And it's being recognized today as being the new UK Independence Day, June 23rd, 2016. And this is declared by the UKIP leader. Breitbart News has been covering a large portion of this entire thing. And, of course, they have Breitbart London over there that's been working to, cover this entire event. But anyway, Australia's Prime Minister said on Friday that he expects a period of uncertainty and some instability in global markets as Britain was on the verge of Brexit, but the immediate impact on Australia will be limited. The impact on Australia immediately, directly from a legal point of view, will be very limited because it will take some years for the United Kingdom to leave the European Union to negotiate an exit. And this is what the Prime Minister told reporters. However, we've already seen large falls on stock markets, and there will be a degree of uncertainty for some. And David Cameron had called for stability and unity. So that's what's taking place over there. So this is a big thing that's happening. It looks like the head of the UKIP, Nigel Farage, is so happy that he opened a bottle of champagne and started celebrating. So that's what's taking place over there. So there he's drinking her up. That's UKIP for you. But yeah, so it's being recognized as a new Independence Day for Great Britain. The Europhile elite has been defeated, according to Breitbart News. Britain points Europe the way to the future and to liberation. It is time for a new start, relying on our own strength and sovereignty. Also, In the Netherlands, a recent survey, Van Schang, Dutch television, shows that a majority of the Dutch want a referendum on EU membership. So this is actually starting sort of like a revolution over in Europe as a whole, as a continent, where now you're having people of these various countries that are wanting to break away from the European Union and are wanting to be ruled by their country. Because after all, you vote for your nation's government, not EU. It's not, you don't. It really gets me why you would want to be part of a huge government like that would take such control, over these various countries. Why would countries want to be a part of that? But, as we've talked about before, there is an effort to get a one world government established. I mean, it's in the Bible where there will be one government. So, eventually it will happen, but it's just amazing why anybody would want to give so much power to a group of people that have various interests that, aren't even concerning your country. Because, see, that's the thing. Britain was being controlled by these other European countries. Like I said, and trade was one of the major things. Now they're going to be able to trade a little bit more freely with these various other countries, including the United States. So I think in the long run, while you might see the United Kingdom suffer a little bit for this entire thing, it might be possible in the long run they will actually benefit from it. But for right now, they've seen a dip in their sterling. It's been, not doing too well. Pounds aren't doing too well over there. But overall, it's, I think in the long run, it will definitely help. But anyway, Donald Trump is also scheduling to visit the United Kingdom, and Republicans are saying that it's a strategic mistake. Oh, my gosh. You have Donald Trump that visited the golf course over there in Scotland that he just opened. And this is being reported by Breitbart News. Presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump will hold a press conference and ribbon-cutting ceremony at Trump Turnberry in Scotland on Friday, the day after the Brexit vote, where voters decided whether or not they should stay in the United Kingdom, whether or not they should stay in the European Union, and the United Kingdom should remain part of it. Voters who support Britain leaving the EU want to have full control over the borders and want to stop the free flow of immigration. They also argue that being a member of the EU is holding Britain back because of too many regulations on businesses. Trump said that he would be more inclined to leave the EU for a lot of reasons, like having a lot less bureaucracy. He has really repetitively voiced opposition and concern for open border policies, especially due to an increased risk of radical Islamic terrorism. Which, that is a major concern that Britain has to be, worried about because, their police officers over there aren't even allowed to carry firearms. That's how strict they are with their gun control. And that's why I wonder if the United Kingdom Independent Party could get in there and maybe fix some of this stuff. It'd be much, much better, and I think it'd be much more beneficial for the people of Britain overall, give them more freedom. But anyway, the billionaire's trip to Scotland to visit his golf course has come under some scrutiny from Republican strategists. That's amazing. Yeah, go figure. Republican establishment doesn't like Trump. That's a newsflash for you. After Trump's speech going after Hillary Clinton, one could imagine him doing a series of rallies across the United States to pound that same speech in some battleground home states. And that was by Ron Bonjean, a GOP strategist. Bonjean, that's good genes in French. When Trump chooses to go to his golf course resort in Scotland, it sends a message to the fundraising community as well as Republicans on the fence that he's not making smart strategic decisions. It's a strategic mistake, GOP strategist and former RNC committee staffer Doug Healey, I think is how you pronounce his name, stated. This isn't even his first trip to Scotland during his campaign. He would be better served to spend time in Ohio and in North Carolina. The guy, I understand, is running for president. However, he's still a businessman and he still has to be concerned about his company.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1132. 800-826-1132. That's 800-826-1132. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as student loan debt, tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. 4108.
Caiden Cowger.
I tell you,
Somebody had to say it.
liberalism is a mental disorder. Or liberals have a mental disorder. I don't know which one it is. Because, guys, I was watching footage from C-SPAN. And you had Democrats that were sitting on the floor of the House. I mean, you'd expect Elizabeth Warren to do it. I think we all know why, but sitting bull. But Indian style, yeah, that's it. But anyway, you'd expect Elizabeth Warren to do it. But these Democrats sitting on the floor of the House, having a sit-in because we didn't get our way on gun control. I mean, it's so absolutely absurd. There's nothing but children. And then they start singing this musicale, this song "We Shall Overcome" that was used in the Civil Rights era. And I actually have footage from this entire thing, audio for you. I want you to listen to this. This happened on the floor of the House of Representatives. Go ahead and play. These are the Democrats sitting Indian style on the floor. A lot of them were standing up, holding signs, and just really perturbed at the Republicans because they will not allow a vote on gun control. Go ahead and play it. So there you go. That was the Democrats singing "We Shall Overcome." I think the lyrics in that last part was "We shall have peace," or "We are not afraid. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome." I think the first lyrics to that was "We." What was that? I don't know what that first part of. "We shall have some pie someday." I don't know what it was, but anyway, that was the Democrats sitting Indian style, like Elizabeth Warren, on the floor of the House of Representatives, like the 4-year-olds that they are. And yeah, it's quite something else to see. It really does show how badly they want our guns. It does. Because that's the thing that really gets me. Who's oppressing them? Who is oppressing these people? Radical Islam. Radical Islam is the result of what we saw took place in Orlando. Radical Islam is the reason for that, I should say. And Orlando is the result of radical Islam. I mean, that's the truth. And you have another guy, Representative Louis Gohmert. Louis Gohmert, a great guy, great representative. And he was in the House of Representatives as they were giving, all the Republicans a hard time. And Louis just absolutely, got extremely upset. Listen to this. Don't let terrorists have a gun. That's one of the Democrats. And Louis Gohmert is yelling back, it was radical Islam. Go ahead and play it one more time.
Radical Islam killed these people. A terrorist with a gun.
He said it was radical Islam that killed these people. And then you have this other guy yelling yelling at Louis.
Don't let terrorists have a gun.
Don't let terrorists have a gun. Don't let terrorists have a gun. Don't let terrorists have a gun. I mean, that's the Democrats for you. They are so out of their ever-loving mind. My gosh. I mean, the mental disorders are really starting to show. And, there was a study that came out. I forget where it was from, but it was a valid study from one of the universities. And they were trying to conclude that conservatives are psychopaths. They were trying to prove that conservative psychopaths are more prone to be psychopaths. And they ended up finding out that liberals are actually the ones that are more likely to be psychopaths. So that's just something that you want to consider here. So we're dealing with genuine mentally disturbed people that register together in a party. And that's party's a Democratic party. But I tell you, guys, it's really just so absolutely pathetic. Don't let terrorists have a gun. Don't let terrorists have a gun. Oh, please don't let terrorists have a gun. Don't let them have no gun. Don't let them have a gun. And guys, the thing is that I don't think anyone wants terrorists to get guns, but here's the interesting thing. If you take away, due process, as Joe Manchin would like to do, we'll have to get to that later on in the show. But Joe Manchin wanted to do away with due process and said that's one of the biggest obstacles here because you can't deny people due process. Well, see, here's the thing, all right? With due process, if you're an American citizen, you have the right to be charged by a jury of your peers. That's what the Constitution says, okay? You take away due process, then basically the government can put whoever they want on that list as being a terrorist. All they have to do to take away your gun is call you a terrorist. Well, guess what they could do? If you would allow that in there, and if you'd really get a tyrant in there, like I wouldn't put it past Obama, and I wouldn't put it past a lot of the Democrats, all you would have to do is you would have to change it and make a definition for terrorists. What is a terrorist? A terrorist is someone who wishes violence upon other people, right? Who wants to spread terror. Well, if you own an automatic gun, if you own a semi-auto that they refer to as an assault weapon because they're stupid, if you own a gun that is high-powered that they refer to as a weapon of war, then, you could be suspected of being a terrorist. In the liberal mind is what I'm saying. So let's say that you own an AR-15, all right? And the government passes a law or says that you can't have an AR-15. Or says that terrorists cannot have any, guns whatsoever. But let's say that owning an AR-15 is an assault weapon. Well, it can be assumed, I don't know why anyone needs to have an AR-15. I don't know why anyone needs to have such a horrible weapon as that, other than if they want to do something with it, other than if they want to kill people. So therefore, if you own an AR-15 and you refuse to turn it in, you could be, I think, in the liberal mind, and if liberals would have their way, I think that you'd be considered a terrorist. I think that they would write you down as being a terrorist, and you would completely lose all of your rights. And that's what I personally think could very well happen. Because you have nuts out there like Dianne Frankenstein, whatever you want to call her. And, guys, it's quite concerning to me. And that's why you have to be very careful with issues like this, because when the Constitution is so easily manipulated by the liberal left into meaning something that it doesn't, just imagine, regarding all of this other stuff that they're wanting to write, and you're wanting to have lawyers to write. You're trusting the Democrats to draft legislation that is pro or anti-gun, that is putting more regulations on firearms. So, that is something that is concerning to me. Of course, I don't want terrorists to have guns. The last thing I want is some whack job like this guy that just shot up all of these, homosexuals over in Orlando to get their hands on a firearm. But the thing is that he got it legally. And whether you like to admit it or not, terrorists are always going to find ways to get access to a firearm, despite if you have a law that says, nope, sorry, terrorists aren't allowed to have guns, or whatever. Because, you want an example? There's no law that you can pass to fix this. And that's something that people have to realize. There's no law that you can pass that would prevent terrorists from getting their hands on firearms. Take a good look at what happened over in Paris, right? You had terrorists that had guns, citizens who didn't. Even though Paris has these extremely tough gun laws, that terrorist still got their hands on a gun.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden
Somebody had to say it.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1132. 800-826-1132. That's 800-826-1132. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as student loan debt, tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
So you have Joe Manchin from West Virginia, a liberal Democrat. And I think now a lot of West Virginians are starting to realize that, because Manchin ran his entire campaign in 2010 and 2012 claiming that he would fight to defend West Virginia's Second Amendment rights. And I have the commercial right here that I'm going to play for you. And he said, that's why I'm endorsed by the NRA. And now the NRA is hammering Joe Manchin. Doesn't like Manchin at all. Well, anyway, Joe Manchin was just on MSNBC and was talking about how due process, the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution, is extremely inconvenient, making it out like the United States Constitution is flawed, and this is something that is very problematic for us. Joe Manchin stated that it's an inconvenient firewall that prevents denying Americans access to firearms. Now, I want you to listen to this. This is Joe Manchin on The Morning Joe on MSNBC, his favorite cable television network, MSNBC, talking about how due process is very problematic.
The problem we have, and really the firewall that we have right now, is due process. Yeah. It's all due process. So we can all say, yeah, we want the same thing, but how do we get there? If a person is on a terrorist watch list, like the gentleman, the shooter in Orlando, he was twice by the FBI. We were briefed yesterday about what happened, but that man was brought in twice. They did everything they could. The FBI did everything they were supposed to do, but there was no way for them to keep him on the NICS list or keep him off the gun buy list. There was no way to do that. So can't we say that if a person's under suspicion, they should be a 5-year period of time that we have to see if good behavior, if this person continues the same traits? Maybe we can come to that type of an agreement. But due process is what's killing us right now.
I'm Joe Manchin. I approve this act because I'll always defend West Virginia. As your senator, I'll protect our Second Amendment rights. That's why the NRA endorsed me.
That was Joe Manchin's commitment. But now, Manchin is working with President Obama and New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Concerned? You should be. Tell Senator Manchin to honor his commitment to the Second Amendment and reject the Obama-Bloomberg gun control agenda. The National Rifle Association is responsible for the content of this message.
The problem we have, and really the firewall that we have right now, is due process.
So there you go. Joe Manchin fighting the Second Amendment. Fighting to disarm the United States, fighting to disarm West Virginia. And you know, guys, I hope that all of you remember the name John Racy, because John Racy was the guy who ran against Joe Manchin back in 2010 and 2012. And what was it that John Racy said? John said that Joe Manchin is going to be a rubber stamp for Barack Obama. Now, West Virginia despises Obama with a passion. I mean, they voted, even the Democrats here, they voted for a prison felon, a criminal, to the Democratic nomination for the presidency over Obama in 2012. The state here in West Virginia, every single county, all 55, voted red for Mitt Romney. But they also voted for Joe Manchin. Now, when you have all 55 counties that voted for Mitt Romney, and then you have Joe Manchin that wins re-election, how? Other than he hoodwinked the people of West Virginia. But ever since Joe Manchin got into his position as United States Senator, you know what he's done? Exactly what John Racy has said. He's a rubber stamp for Barack Obama. And he's going to be a rubber stamp for Hillary Clinton. You know, the one that wants to shut down all of West Virginia's coal mines, all the coal mines in Kentucky, all the coal mines in the various other places? Joe Manchin has already endorsed her, has already said that he has put his full-fledged support behind Hillary, that he's known the Clintons for years. This man is continuing to try to pull the wool over the eyes of West Virginia. And people have to wake up and realize that this guy is a crook. I mean, his own brother can't trust him. Oh, sorry, that's personal. We can't say that. If the guy's dishonest with his family, he's going to be dishonest with the state. And he has been dishonest with the state because he said, verbatim, I will work to protect our Second Amendment rights. That's exactly what he stated. That's why the NRA endorsed me. Now it turns out that he's completely abandoned that promise, that he's shedding tears because we can't take away the guns from the Americans. I mean, guys, it's just so absolutely pathetic. But that's Joe Manchin for you. He is a pathetic little man. Guys, I tell you, this is, really why we have to get Joe Manchin out of office in this upcoming year. And I'm just going to go ahead, election year in 2018. I'm going to tell you personally, and I'm not going to confirm this to anybody, and I'm not going to say if it's going to happen. I'm not going to say if it's not. But I look for John Racy to run again in 2018. I really do. I think that John Racy will run for Senate in 2018. That's what I personally think. Because, one of the really amazing things, I told you about how I got to meet John again there at the Donald Trump rally in Charleston, West Virginia. And it was really great seeing him again. I don't think because I just talked with him on the phone the week before. He didn't recognize me at the Trump rally because it'd been 4 years since we had seen each other face to face. But anyway, I was, got to meet him there again. And I just talked with him the week before and talked with him before that. And I really think that he's going to run again. Because what really, was vivid to me is that because I didn't know he was going to be at the Donald Trump event. I did, because it was like 2 days notice and I had no idea that he was going to be there. I had hoped that he's going to be there. I figured he'd be there since he was running as a delegate for Donald Trump, but I didn't know he was going to be there. Anyway, he ended up going out there, delivered a speech, and they kept making references how he'd make such a great United States senator. And I started thinking, this is a way for him to get his name out there again and get it associated with the next president of the United States, Donald Trump, and potentially have a run for the United States Senate again in 2018. And that's what I think could very well happen, because John is also younger than Joe Manchin, I'd like to remind you. So it's, I look forward to that, and I think it could very well happen. But of course, if he does decide to run, he will have my wholehearted support. 100%. I mean, the guy is an absolute genius, business genius. I mean, I really admire the guy a lot. I remember when I was, I'll tell you this. I remember when I was like 11 years old, and it was back in 2000. No, was I 11? No, I was 12 years old. I take that back. I was 12 years old at the time, back in 2010. And it was just a few months before I decided to start doing my radio show. But anyway, I went to the John Racy rally that he had there in Clarksburg, and then followed him over to Fairmont because I didn't get to meet him, and I wanted to meet him so bad. Wanted to meet Rudy Giuliani, and I remember talking to my dad and my grandfather. Dad, we have to go. We have to go see him. I didn't get to meet him. I want to meet him. So right before I was able to meet him, he was getting into his little Wally wagon, and the door shut. And I was able to get a picture where he looked right at me, but the door shut before I was able to get his autograph, shake his hand, or get a picture, because he was about ready to sign my picture that I had, but some woman distracted him, and he, right after that, he got into the van. I wasn't able to meet him. So anyway, we tried to convince my dad. I overheard someone say, "Hey, he's going to Fairmont next." Dad, come on, we have to go to Fairmont. Please take me to Fairmont. So we ended up going to Fairmont to Muriel's Restaurant, and there I got to meet both Rudy Giuliani and John Racy. And I was more excited meeting John Racy than I was Rudy Giuliani. That's how much I like that guy. And this is like 12 years old. I'd never met the guy before. I just had heard a lot of the things that he was standing for and was really excited to meet him. Loved the guy to death. And I wanted to meet him because he was going to be our next senator. And, Rudy, he's all right. But John, I've got to meet Mr. Racy. So was able to meet him, got his autograph, got to shake his hand. I remember I'd even made a thing that had a picture of John Racy, the good, the bad, the ugly. I had John Racy as the good, Joe Manchin as the bad, and Obama as the ugly. But I sent that to him, and that was when I was 12 years old. Really, loved the guy. He's really great, and then helped him out in his 2012 campaign. But the Manchin campaign, trying to make it out like Mr. Racy was crazy, that he wasn't in touch with West Virginia. I mean, while they often try to portray people who are wealthy as being stuck up and horrible, ruthless, like, Joe Manchin was trying to do to Mr. Racy, John Racy is one of the most genuine, nicest people that you can ever meet. West Virginia would be honored to have him as a senator.
Caiden Cowger.
Keeping America straight.
Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
If you've ever been looking for a way to invest your money, gold can be a very good investment. Let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is one of the best companies in the business dealing with gold and other precious metals. They have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and can offer spectacular information on investing in gold. All you have to do is call 1-800-932-4108, and they will give you the knowledge that you need to make an investment. Even if you've just been curious about purchasing gold, this is a great group that can provide you with reliable information. Call 1-800-932-4108 and also ask them about some of their ebooks, such as 10 Shocking Reasons Why You Should Buy Gold and the Definitive Gold Guide. These resources are great for anyone, especially those that are just curious about investing. Call 1-800-932-4108. And some of their products that they offer are quite amazing. I mean, they have the gold bars, they have the gold coins, but they also have this thing called a Valcambi bar. And this is basically just a little bar about the size of a credit card that can fit into your wallet, made up of little grams of gold. So anytime that you just want a gram of gold, you just break one of them off. It's really quite neat. So by all means, contact our friends at Capital Gold Group. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1132. 800-826-1132. That's 800-826-1132. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as student loan debt, tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It is great to have you with us. Now, I tell you, it is amazing what is taking place here, because here in West Virginia, we have the Greenbrier Classic, and it is this professional golf course where all the pros come out. You have my favorite, Bubba Watson, that goes golfing there, and they have, of course, Roy McIlroy and some of the others that end up attending this thing, but it's owned by the Democrat who's running for governor of West Virginia, and his name is Jim Justice. And if you don't know Jim Justice, he looks like your traditional politician, the overweight guy that has a big gut that talks like he owns everything, and the reason why he talks like he owns everything is probably because he does. He owns a lot of stuff here. But anyway, not as much as John Racy, I don't think, though, but that just goes to show you. Conservative Republican, wealthy guy, humble. Democrat guy, arrogant. But anyway, you have apparently you have something that's going on over in Greenbrier right now at the Greenbrier Resort. They are absolutely flooded because we've been having some pretty bad weather here. I've been wondering if the electric is going to go off, and I'm thinking, okay, we just picked up this new station in Florida. I really don't want to lose that and not be able to produce a show for this upcoming Sunday for them. So, I was really, wondering, is the electric going to hold out? Is it going to shut down? What's going to happen? But yeah, it's held up pretty well here. But anyway, not so much in Greenbrier County. And if you go to mountaineerjournal.com, one of the news outlets that I own, but anyway, if you go to mountaineerjournal.com and you guys are familiar with Greenbrier Classic, there's videos on there of where you have a bunch of water that has just flooded the area. It's so sad because it's a beautiful golf course, and the water is just completely, swept across that entire golf course. It's so sad. It makes you want to cry if you love golf, but it's horrific. Bubba Watson was tweeting pictures out and a video out of the entire thing, but you have where the 18th hole is just covered. First hole is looks like a lake. I mean, it's so awful. Oh, my goodness. It just looks like a lake. It looks legitimately like a lake. And you have 2 weeks until the Greenbrier Classic takes place. That's the other important part that I was going to tell you. 2 weeks until Greenbrier Classic, and this place is absolutely flooded. So I'm wondering, are they going to this is probably one of the most challenging courses that Bubba Watson or any of them have ever participated in, because I guess you're going to have to find the hole somewhere in that water. But it really is just horrific there. I'm, looking at a video now of it. Oh, my goodness. It's so sad. It really is. I mean, this entire golf course, it looks like it's just flooding everywhere. You have Jim Justice that said, I've never seen anything like it. It's like nothing I've seen. But our focus right now isn't on the property, the golf course, or anything else. We're praying for the people and doing everything that we can to get them the help that they need. And that's what's taking place. And presently there haven't been any announcements regarding rescheduling or, anything regarding the tournament that's supposed to take place in 2 weeks. But Greenbrier Classic is supposed to occur in just a few weeks. And I'm really upset because I was planning on going there, but I realize they have even greater problems down there. But it's just a shame that it ruined that area. I mean, because you have a lot of the water, a lot of the some of the buildings that have had parts of it washed away. It's going to take a lot of repair work, and it's hard to tell how long that water is going to remain there. Because guys, it looks literally like a lake in that entire area. It's like a lake. So it's going to take quite some time for all that water to die down. And just seeing the condition of that golf course, it makes you want to bawl your eyes out. But anyway, yeah, that's mountaineerjournal.com if you want to see it for yourself. There's also a burning house that floated down in Greenbrier County, too. Burning. So it was either destroyed by the floodwater and they didn't have flood insurance, so they set the house on fire, or it was an electrical fire. I don't know which one happened. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.